Hey everyone, welcome to my very first book review. So today I'm going to be reviewing this very popular book by Lockhart. It's called We Were Liars. So first I'm going to tell you what I like about the book physically in terms of design. So this is the cover, the full cover here. And as you can see, it's a blurred image of the main characters in the beach, like on the water, in the beach, on the beach in the water. And I can't really tell you too much about this particular beach, but I have to say that it is a very special, important spot for the liars. Also, something that I did not actually realize until after I finished reading the book. Take a look at this text. Take some serious look at it. Guys, this text of the title and a little bit of where the author's name is textured. So go ahead and just rub your hands all over this. So now on to the inside of the book, and there's this lovely bokeh kind of print on both the front and back covers. And I just think this is really nice, and I think that only an established writer can get this kind of action in their books. I really like the watermark that's on the title page, and it reminds me a lot of my own blog where I have kind of a similar thing going on in my header, which is pretty cool. Great minds think alike. One thing that I love about this book is that it features a map of Beechwood Island, and Beechwood Island is exactly the only place where, well, I would say 99% of where this story takes place, and you can just, it is so detailed, you guys. You see like all the houses where the family lives, pathways, what else? Staff buildings, the path to Martha's Vineyard. And this book is actually set off the coast of Massachusetts, so that's also kind of appealing. I really like that. For me, my absolute favorite and I think the most crucial part of the design element was that the publishers decided to add a family tree to this book, and this is what it looks like. It's a family tree of the Sinclair family, which is what the book is pretty much all about. And, you know, it's really helpful, especially at the beginning of the book or even at the end of the book when there's so many characters thrown at you. This little reference guide right here, like, helps a lot. It helps tremendously. And really quickly, I also really like this book spine, how it's metallic, it's really pretty. And also I like the gray, it matches my nails, which is awesome. Right, so on to the story plot. So basically, and I mean at the most basic level, this is a story about a family who seems perfect, completely perfect on the surface, but in reality, they're so far from it. So you get to meet the main character of our story, Cadence, who's a 17-year-old, and she's recovering from this mysterious accident that left her with kind of a head trauma, and she doesn't know what happened. Her memory has completely been gone, and she's trying to figure out and piece together what happened. We learn about her pain and her struggles to remember what happened to her. We also get to meet her two cousins, Johnny and Marion, who are each as lovely and lovable as the next. Johnny, the oldest boy, is a total goofball. He's witty and comforting. Marion, on the other hand, is a completely girl's girl. She yearns for true love and a wedding with yellow flowers and basically happiness. Lastly, and most importantly, there is Gat. So Gat is the friend of Johnny, and he happens to be Indian, and he's the only one who visits the island every summer and is not a part of the Sinclair family. Gat happens to be the nephew of one of Cadence's aunt's boyfriend. His name is Ed, and Ed doesn't really come to the island because he feels awkward. Gat comes every summer though, because the first time they met, Cadence, Johnny, Mirren, and Gat really got along very well, and he's been coming to the island ever since. So although Gat comes to the island every summer, he knows that he's not one of them, and it was made clear to him by the family, even though Cadence and the reader might not have noticed it at first. Love erupts between Cadence and Gat, and it's basically the beginning of the end for the Sinclair family. It's the love between these two teenagers that basically destroys the family, even though it might not be in the way that you expect it to be. At least I know I didn't. Because at the end of the day, this is a mystery soaked in suspense kind of book, and I don't want to give it away because there's no point in reading it if you know the ending to the story. So, sorry. I have to say that I haven't read much of E. Lockhart's other books, but I will say that We Were Liars is a very, very poetic book in my opinion, and she's also very amazingly talented at writing theatrical, vivid imagery, and oh my goodness, it's just so good. So here's an example of that text that I said was so great. Don't worry, I'm not giving away anything by telling you this quote. In fact, this is just the beginning of the book pretty much, where her father leaves her and her mother. Then he pulled out a handgun and shot me in the chest. I was standing on the lawn and I fell. The bullet hole opened wide and my heart rolled out of my ribcage and down into the flower bed. Blood gushed rhythmically from my open wound, then from my eyes, my ears, my mouth. It tasted like salt and failure. The bright red shame of being unloved soaked the grass in front of our house, the bricks of the path, the steps of the porch. My heart spasmed among the peonies like a trout. Yeah, that's pretty good writing. I've never really read a book where the traditional way of writing was so broken up. There are times where 1, 2, or 3 words are used per line, I guess as a way of emphasis and a way of poetry. I could be wrong, I'm not really a poet. Throughout the book, E. Lockhart inserts these mini fairy tales, and it's something that I like, dislike. I mean, it's cool that the stories usually foreshadows the Sinclair stories. Sometimes I found them to be a bit of a nuisance, except for the last fairy tale. That one blew my freaking mind, you guys. So I have to admit, when I started reading this book, I wasn't too keen on it at first, not gonna lie. I didn't really understand the hype, and I realized that the end of the story was probably gonna deal with Cadence's accident, and honestly, as I started reading the book, it wasn't really cutting it for me. Like, the ending wasn't going to be that great, I didn't think. I thought the ending would be a lot more tamer than it actually was. By mid-book, however, I was really, 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 really into it. I felt like I was right there in Beechwood with them. I felt the pain and the suffering that Cadence felt. I felt the confusion that she felt, the anger that she felt, and I got attached to all of the main characters. Heck, I loved them! By the end of the book, I could not deal with anything. My soul was so crushed. Oh my goodness. It took a bit of a while to recover from when I was reading towards the last chapters of the book. The story deals with love and family and coming of age, and it's something that I think really hits home for all of us at some point in life. The ending of the book is nothing like you would expect it to be. By page 221 out of 225, I literally could not deal. I know that's like what silly girls say, but I could not deal with the end of this book. I was so heartbroken that I had to put the book down for about 30 minutes before I could pick it back up and finish the last 4 pages. It's that crazy, you guys. So crazy. Okay, that's all I'm saying for this book. It's a really great book, and I'm telling you, I do not want to tell you the ending because I don't want to spoil it for you. And if you do buy this book or rent it or whatever, do not skip to the end. You might feel like you have to. You might feel like there are points in time where you really want to know what happens, but do not do it. And I was also told by the publishers, if anyone asks you about the ending of the story, just lie. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna keep it from you. Because of the complexity and the scenery and the shocker at the end, I think this would be a really good book to film adaptation in my opinion. So that is it for this review. Let me know down below in the comments if you read this book and whether or not you enjoyed it. Also, please subscribe and like and follow all my little social media links down below. I got a new Tumblr, so definitely check that out. And yeah, see you guys. Bye.